Hello. Good evening. Oh, I need to turn this up a little bit. That's the thing, my voice fluctuates so much. Alright. My voice fluctuates so much that in the 1 minute I'm like too loud. Oh, I better turn on my spotlight. Turn on my spotlight 'cause I got it dark in here for a very good reason. And that's because after this word search, we're gonna play a horror game. I know I haven't really played too much on Sunday nights. I'm usually too burnt out from either cleaning or working on videos or both. But kind of played it kind of lazy today. I did work on Need a Packet. I got one of the endings. I actually got one of the endings twice. That's what I don't like about games with multiple endings. Sometimes you think you're on a good path to get one ending, and then you get the same ending twice. So we did. Oh yeah, last time we listened to Ico, or no, we listened to Dark Cloud, and that's what I want to listen to this time. I want to listen to Ico. It's a really good game. I did play it. I think. Oh yeah, I was having a. I was having. I think it was around the time that I had just recently left, like the one job that I worked at before I went to the catering / bakery place. So I don't know if I think I might have been a little bit edgy on that one. There were some playthroughs where I was just downright not in a good mood. But either way, I still it's one of my favorite games. How loud is it? Not too loud. But yeah, if you haven't played it or if you haven't seen me play it, I have the Longplay on YouTube. I think that the Let's Play must be either up or coming up soon. But yeah, I think I just yelled at Yorda the whole time, telling her to hurry up. She's like, "Hurry up, Yorda! Grab my damn hand." But it's a really awesome game. I recommend playing it if you can. Or as I said, I have the long play on YouTube, and I also have the Let's Play. I guess you can call it a Let's Play. Platinum Let's Plays, I guess. These Platinum Let's Plays are much longer than typical Let's Plays. I think most Let's Plays, they just cut out all the boring shit, and they throw in they just cut out all the boring shit, and they have someone edit in all the fun stuff that happens, because they play like a 12-hour game, and they have I think maybe 20 minutes of highlights. There was only one person who could play through an entire game and be entertaining the whole time, and I think that was Felix from what's his name there? PewDiePie. Alright, anyways, we're doing some balalaika, so string instruments, one called the balalaika. This is all music themed word searches. Alright, so we have banjo. Honestly though, I would 100% be okay with being boring as long as it's boring and relaxing. I think I would rather be boring and relaxing than maybe exciting and maybe a little too much. Even though sometimes I feel like I am a bit too much in the morning. Maybe in the morning, some streams. Or when the game gets really frustrating. Fiddle's going up backwards. And then we have guitar. I know, because like sometimes I'll have a game that just absolutely stresses me the hell out. Even last week with Anarchy Rules, there's the harpsichord. Oh yeah, I just remember I learned about the hurdy-gurdy. I think that was an Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader talking about the hurdy-gurdy. That's it's Donovan. He's the hurdy-gurdy man. I guess he plays the hurdy-gurdy. And then we have the lyre. I got ire, but I need lyre. L-Y. There we go. Lute and lyre touching. The mandolin, not the one that you use to slice vegetables. No. This one is a guitar. And then we have the piano, and yes, pianos do have strings. The strings, I think you press the key and then the string comes down and the hammer hits the string and makes the noise, if I remember that correctly. We have sitar. That's why, as much as I'd like to learn how to play the piano, it would be a very, very hard thing to maintain, because yeah, you have like hammers and strings and pedals and keys, and it's just so much you would have to keep track of. Violin. Same kind of goes with drums too. You have to really like. Cello is it me you're looking for? Cello, is it me you're looking for? We got musical forms. Alright, so we have the anthem. That's a good Charlotte song. It's the anthem, throw your damn hands up. There's also Blink-182, they have the anthem. They have anthem part 1 and 2. Alright, we got a bagatelle. That sounds more like type of pasta, but it's like when you put your spaghetti on your French bread. You got a bagatelle. I'll see myself out. Canon? Canon? I don't know too many canons, but Pachelbel's Canon. Canyon? Wait, is that Pachelbel's Canon or Pachelbel's Canyon? Wait, I think it's Pachelbel's Canon, and it's probably one of the most beautiful songs I've heard. I won't, no cap on that one. I could go to sleep to that one. I can't find it on here though. NOM? Canon? CA. I got Chaot. I got Kamina. I got Cat. Cot. Canon, there it is. Alright, we got Concerto. I thought that was a wrestling move. Yeah. Alright, we got Adut. And we have Madrigal. Madrigal. Then we have the march. My favorite march is the March of the Irish Dragoons. It's been a while since I've heard that one. Or I played it more than I heard it, but yeah, that one's a good one. Also the Imperial March. We have a minuet. Mias. Minuet, there it is. And then we have an operetta. Ooh, this is the intro to Ico. Yeah, games like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian kind of stop suggesting them to people because People will say like, "Oh, I played it and I just didn't like it. I didn't get it," and I understand that actually. It's a kind of a pain in the ass game, especially if you go back and play it now. Pavane. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I feel like Ico could use a remake. They remade Shadow of the Colossus. They remastered it and then they remade it, but they never remade Ico. And Ico is great. It's kind of a pain. Like, it is a pain in the ass. The entire time that I was playing it, I was super annoyed. I mean, sure so. And that's because you have an NPC that you have to. It's basically the entire game. The entire game is an escort mission, which, I mean, I would understand if somebody didn't like that Serenade, because escort missions are always the worst. And I didn't really get too annoyed with it until I think I was going for the Castle Guide trophy or something. I forget what it was called, but you had to go through the entire game in less than 2 hours. And when you have a NPC that does not want to work with you, yeah, it can be kind of a pain. A little bit of a pain. Waltz. That's why I was always like, damn it, Yorda. Hold back. Hold on, I'll be back in a minuet. Alright, we got the percussion for people who love to bang on things. Bass drum. The old kick. The old kicker. Dong, 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 dong. What's over here? Bass drum right on the left. Got the bass drum, then we got the bongos. And then we have the castanets. That's what fishermen do. They cast a net. Got cam. It almost looked like hard cam. Murder. It's murder. Castanets. I got carp. Finding all the words except the word I'm looking for. Except these words aren't even in the word search. So many words and they're not even in the word search. They're not percussion instruments. Not a murder isn't a percussion instrument. Neither is a. I gotta find the double L. Cowbell. There it is. Cowbell and cymbals up here. And then the gong. We have a hi-hat. Hi-hat, bi-hat. And then we got the maraca. And then we have the marimba. Marimba. Mamba. Marimba. There it is. Alright, we have rattle. Alright, and then we got our big old snare drum. Well, it's not big, but it does make a lot of noise. Snare drum. They could have just called it a snare. I would have known what they meant. Oh, murder is part of snare drum. Snare drum. That's why the word murder is in there. Alright. Then we have tabla. Alright, then we got the tambourine. Oh, Mr. Tambourine Man. Yeah, there's the tambourine. And then we have the timpani. It's a very I don't know how to describe it now. But it's definitely like a very noticeable drum. You'll know if you know what a timpani is and you hear it in a song, you'll know what it is. Alright, we need the triangle. Triangle, it's over here. Oh, I didn't highlight the whole thing. Alright, we got woodblock. Woodblock down this way. And then xylophone going all the way up here this way. Alright. I tripped and hit my head on a snare. Now I have percussion. It's a bit of a stretch on that one. That's a bit of a stretch on that pun, though. Alright, we got musical styles. Alright. Musical styles. Acoustic. Honestly, you can make any song. You can make any song better by just unplugging your guitar. Ambient music is good for when you're just trying to get some sleep. Ambient. That's ambu. Oh, that's abmu. That's not even close. There's ambient. Alright, then we have a ballad. So a ballad is when like a rock band does a slow song. So like Babe by Styx, or like, I don't know, most Journey songs. And we have Baroque. It's not my financial status. That's more like the old 17, I think it's 17 or 1800s string stuff. We got Bhangra. I'm not even going to pretend to know what that is. I haven't heard of that one. Bhangra. And we got the blues. It'd be like Elvis, I guess, or B.B. King. Cabaret. Then we got Calypso. That's the steel drum. And we have classical, of course. Classical music. You know, I love video game music because they're as close to classical music as we get these days. Then we have country. Like, they got a whole orchestra playing that stuff now. And, like, I think they make it with that intended. Like, even back in the day, like, the Final Fantasy soundtracks, like, yo, you know that they planned tours with those, that music. Electro. Folk. We got gospel. You know, this is sounding more like a horror game soundtrack. Grunge. And we have jazz. Oh yeah, we'll never see a double. Well, actually, yeah, there's the double Z. I was gonna say we have two double Z's. Luckily they were close together. Alright, we got Motown, opera. Actually, I sometimes will put it on the opera station when I play Grand Theft Auto 3. And ragtime. Ragtime is kind of a fun one. I don't really remember it that much, but there's a couple songs that I played that were like ragtime. Then we got Crocky. Alright, 360 now, yeah. Why didn't Handel go shopping? Because he was broke. Broke. I get it. He has no money. Anyways. Composers. Okay, so we got Bach. We got Beethoven, not the dog. Alright, and we got Brahms. There he is over there. Oh, we got. I need the S too. And we got Chopin. We got Ledna. Of course, we got Hayden. And Litz. So, well, there's actually quite a few Z's in here. So we got the Z for Mozart, too. We got Mahler. Mahler, hardly knew her. There's Mahler. Alright, yeah, and then Mozart was down this way. And then we got Puccini. And then we have, oh, this guy. I'm surprised, yeah, he's surprised he's sideways there. That's Rachmaninoff. And we got Schubert. That's not the frozen. No, not the frozen dessert. Like the fruit dessert. No, that's Schubert. We got Schumann. C-H. Schumann. S-C-H. Schumann. Hello, Schumann. There he is. You can just hear Jerry Seinfeld being like, hello, Schumann. Alright, we got Stravinsky going this way. Then we got Tchaikovsky. There's a lot of skis. There he is. Yeah, this one definitely had to go down. It might have been too long for the other way. We got Verdi. I think that might be Italian for green. And then we got Vivaldi. And last, we got Wagner. Alright. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. Unfortunately, I gotta ruin that joke, being a fucking know-it-all. But actually, banana is a berry. Alright, wind instruments. We got bagpipe. We got the bassoon. Ooh, this soundtrack is like, I haven't really like sat down and listened to the soundtrack, and when you're listening to the game soundtrack, it does play the same-ish songs around, usually. But this calls back this, whatever song this is, it very, very quietly. Oh, it's not loud. I don't think it's loud enough for you to be able to hear it, maybe. I didn't realize I didn't make it that loud. Actually, it was kind of loud before, and then I made it quieter. We got the cornet. But, yeah, you can kind of hear it. It's kind of throwing back to the original theme. Oh, fuck me, man. But yeah, I didn't realize there was a lot of like scary-ish songs. They're kind of like scary, I guess. Ten rock. Alright, there we go. Now we got euphonium. Well, these are going to be very easy to find. Flugelhorn, because they're very long. Kind of hard to hide. And then the flute's up here. And we're going to have the French horn. I'll turn it up a little bit. This one actually has some lyrics. There's French horn. And helicon. I just gotta remember to turn it down. Oh, we got the ocarina. I think this is the ending song already. recorder, saxophone. We have the sousaphone. It's a big motherfucker one. And then trombone. Somebody who plays the trombone is called a tromboner. Alright, we got trumpet and tuba. How do you fix a brass instrument with the tuba glue? Tuba glue. Alright, we're going to guitars now. So we got acoustic again. Acoustic. Guitar? Never heard of that one. Oh, I fell for it again. No, acoustic is going this way. Yeah, we got the action guitar. Amplifier. We have a bar. Oh, these are also like just add-ons and parts of the guitar. The body. Oh, maybe the action is a part that I don't know about. I know some of the parts, but not all of them. Bridge. We got capo. 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 Chord. Cutaway. Cutaway. Electric. There we go, electric guitar. This way. Then we have a fret. And harmonics. It's harmonics. Headstock going across. Interval up here. It almost looks like claveretini. And then we have the neck of the guitar. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of these in like 2 minutes. Maybe not this one. Neck. Chicken neck. There it is. Neck deep. Yeah, and then this one ends up being loud, right? Because the other one was so quiet. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Okay, we got a pickup. And then a plectrum. Up over here. And then the slide. String. And strum. Strum's not a part though. I guess it's what you do to it. Strum. There it is. And we got tablature down this way. And tuning going up into the corner. It was finger picking good. Alright, we got the recording studio up next. Alright, so we have an analog. Analog over here. Alright, then we have channel. And decibel right beside it. Digital. Digital. backwards. Lagited. Effects. F. Effects. There we go, effects. Alright, then we have engineer. E-N-G-I-N. Look for that double E. We have a double E here, but there's another double E going this way. We got equalizer. And feedback. So I guess another reason to have a double E. And then we have filter. I found something cool on my phone. I was watching something and it could like eliminate noise. I feel like I could use something like that. Filter. And then headphones. And what it did was I was watching watching wrestling on the program. And what it did was it eliminated the crowd noise. And I'm like, well, this is kind of cool, but sometimes the crowd like says things that just make it really funny to watch. So I don't want to miss anything like that. I don't want to accidentally eliminate crowd noise. But yeah, if I could like eliminate like fan noise or like sirens, if something happens to go off in the background, that would be cool. Alright, we got sampler going this way. Sampler, tape. Over there we have track. And then volume. I have a Polish friend who is a sound technician and a Czech one too. And a Czech one too. Alright. Yeah, some of these ones are pretty gold. We got musical terms now, so we got adagio. I don't quite remember what that one means. Adagio. And then allegro, which is just at a, moderate pace. Allegro. It's kind of mid. Looking for a double L. There we go. And then we have cadenza. There's a Z there. Oh, there it is. And then we have chord. We have chord, and then we have clef. Clef. Got clay. Might have to look for, F's. There we go, we got Felk. And coda. There's coda. And duet. And then encore. And then flat. And harmony. Over here. Largo is up next. And then legato. major, minor, we have octave, there's octave, then we have opus. It's actually, there was a free horror game with the, it was like a free first chapter, or first episode. It's called Opus, and I downloaded it, I just never really got around to playing it. It looked interesting though. And I have the second episode on my wish list. There's rhythm, and then sharp, and tempo, and then we have timbre. Timbre is kind of like your tone. So like you can, like with the way you blow and like how tight you keep your embouchure and all that shit, you can change kind of how your instrument sounds. Unless you're an oboe. Then you're stuck sounding like nasally. Trill. But I do like the sound of an oboe in certain situations. If I put on like the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack at some point, we'll hear one song. It's got some oboe in it and the clarinet. And it's really good. There's one game that I played called Time and Eternity, and the intro song is amazing. Alright, I don't like music in E minor. It gives me the EBGBs. Alright, we got musical notation. So this is how... Oh yeah, these are things that you're gonna like write if you're writing music on like a sheet. If you're writing sheet music. So we got accents. We have bar. And then we have the brace. And then we have a coda. It's funny, I know all of these words, but I don't remember what all of them mean. But if I looked them up, I'd be like, oh yeah, that. Alright, we got the dotted. I guess no, that one's not it. That's not a thing. It's just dotted. Flat. Flatted. Dotted is not a thing, but it is dotted. Unless dotted is a thing, and I just completely forgot what it was. Flat. There it is. We have key signature. I got a K up here. There's key signature. Just so many letters that's going all the way across. Alright, and then we have ledger. And then mordant. Yeah, some words kind of like, cross dimensions because there's ledgers and accounting too, right? And we got mordant. And then we have natural. Natural. There we go. And then we have pose, pause, pose, pause, posa. Just anytime you're not playing something, it's a pose. Then we got pizzicato. Speaking of pizzicato, I haven't had pizza in way too long. I've been like going somewhere else instead of going for pizza, and I don't know, man. I'm craving it a little bit. It's been a while. Repeat. I'll have to wait for like next payday or something. It's just the thing about winter is that, you know, the pizza places near me are kind of mid. There's one that's really good, but it's very expensive. It's not really, I don't really consider it an option most of the time unless I really feel like spending money. But the last time I went, it also was kind of disappointing. It wasn't as good as it usually was. So there's also that. You end up spending, the money on it, and then it's not as good as it usually is. Oh, we got Slurp. Oh, there's a double C there. It's already, there it is, Staccato. And then we have Staff. Staff. And then Tie. Here's Tie. You're pretty sharp. Alright. Now we're going to drumming. Then we're going to get accent again. And then we have bass. And a beater. Brushes. And then we have crash cymbal. Oh, crash and cymbal right next to each other. That's weird because they were doing like bass drum and snare drum, but they separated crash and cymbal. I guess you don't always call it a crash cymbal. It is a type of cymbal, but some people just call it a crash. Okay, there it is. Cymbal, and then we have the fill, just kind of like your, I don't know, after 3 bars, you just kind of do whatever. So it's kind of like a freestyle. And then we have a flam. There it is. Then we got grip. We're still talking about drums here, right? Because we got grip and head and rim shot. Throne. Cocktois. Grip. There we go. Grip. Head. Kick. Kick. There's kick. Kick. And then kit. And then we have metronome. Alright, and then we got ride. It's another type of cymbal. And then a rim shot is not as dirty as it sounds. Rim shot is when you take the drumstick and you just tap the side of the drum with it. Just like that. Instead of hitting the snare. I think it's one of my favorite sounds when it comes to drums, especially if it's like during a slow part or like a softer song, and it's just like that tap. Alright, we got skin. Skins. Another name for, I guess, a snare. sticks. Of course. And you can play with the drumsticks or like other brushes. I like the sound of the brushes too. I always remember that one music video with Dave Grohl playing in Nirvana, like the live, the unplugged live, and he's playing with the brush. I always liked how that sounded and how it looks too. It looks pretty cool. Throne. It's just the name of the drum stool. And Tom Tom. Or just Toms. Never really heard anybody call them Tom Toms, just Toms. Alright, here's a symbol of my admiration. Alright, we're going choir. So we have acapella. What time is it? It's almost 8:30. I think we'll be finished soon. I think I was aiming to start around 8. Well, I was aiming to start there's the alto. Yeah, the word search is around 7, but nature was calling, so there's alto. Yeah, barbershop. So my aim was to start Bad Cheese around 8, but I'll be a little late. Must be close to the end. I always lose count, but we have to be close to 12 at this point. We have bass, cathedral. There it is, cathedral. Then we have chamber. Choral, there's chamber. There's choral. There's community. We have falsetto. Alright, then we have gospel. Over here. Then we have leader. Leader. No, I'm not finding it. Gone through all the L's. Okay, let's go a little more slowly. So there's no E's around that L. No E's around that L, at least none that go in any good direction. We got that one's Len. That one's Lee. It's got Lee, but doesn't go anywhere after that. Huh. Okay then. I must have... there it is. Going up to the left. And then we have school. Shul. And then singing. Singing. Ing. Get a little bit more time on this one. Then we have soprano. Not the gangsters. They could be gangsters and singers. P-O-S-O S-O-R-S-O-L S-O-N-S-O. There it is. Oh, Narpos. And then tenor. Only one of them in this one. And we got the treble. Nothing but treble. Oh, there's gonna be a treble joke, isn't there? Okay, we got vocal and voice. Alright, V, vocal. And then the other V, voice. Why did the pirate want to be a singer? He loved the high seas. The high seas. Alright, so yeah, that's it for dramatic pause. Yes. Alright, yeah, it looks like we're in school. Yeah, school. Alright, so there we go. There's the musical interlude. Word search puzzle. The next one will be stay in school. Right. Well. Did I minimize? Oh yeah, I accidentally minimized it. And I do that and it confuses me. Alright. So yeah, I think we were done. Yeah, we were done this a while. It was only 25 minutes, this album. But this is Boogie Pop Phantom, just Boogie Pop Phantom soundtrack is pretty